Alright guys, hey, it's Thomas here. So today I'm going to show you guys a system that's pretty high-end. You're looking at the KEF Reference 5. The owner of this system, I actually knew him a while back because I actually bought the KEF 205 from him. And that was my first video that I ever made on YouTube. So that's a few years ago. And yeah, so we're looking at pretty high-end because, you know, just the speaker alone, we're talking about 24,000. The whole system is about 70,000 MRSP. And as all my videos, when I talk about high-end gear, you know, please, no negative comments attacking my friend here. You know, it was nice of him to share his system. You know, I like looking at other people's system, and I'm going to take you through it, all right? So I guess I'll start by listing the price of the system, and then I will not talk about price anymore. All right, let's start.
Looking at his audio rack, it's obvious that aesthetic is really important to him. In fact, he told me he purposely chose the Bryston 14B Cube, which is one power amp, over 2 monoblocks because he wanted to fit everything into this nice rack. Alright, so I'm going to go over the components quickly. First, you have the Bryston BDA-3 deck. That's the current flagship 32-bit DSD deck. What I find interesting is that it actually has full HDMI input and as well as 2 USB inputs. Why would you need so many HDMI input? I never had a DAC with HDMI input, so I would not know. But okay, it's interesting. Going with the Bryston DAC, he also has the Bryston digital player. Now, this thing is pretty cool. It's basically like a computer. It has an Intel CPU with 8 gigs of RAM. You can control it with your cell phone, so you can play music through Tidal. You can stream from a NAS. And I always wanted to get one, a streamer, so that I can get rid of my computer, because apparently these dedicated streamers have less noise than a computer. Alright, so moving along, we have the Bryston 14B Cube Poweramp. Now this thing is a beast. 600 watt into 8 ohms, 900 watts into 4 ohms. I mean, with this kind of power, you can almost power a Star Trek Starship Enterprise. Do you need this much power? Yeah, for sure, man. The more the better. So basically, it's 2 7B Cube monoblocks combined into one unit. I used to have the Bryston 4B SST Square, and I'm a big fan of Bryston. Alright, next we have the Moon 740p Preamp. This is a dual mono, fully balanced differential design. Moon, I'm a big fan of. In fact, in my own system, I have the Moon W5.3 power amp. Very transparent, very clear, and very clean sounding. And this Moon is no exception. This is what I call the more modern type of sound. For his home theater, he uses an Arcam AVR 550 receiver. Now this is a 7.1.4 receiver, 4K, and it's Atmos ready. And it's the first time I heard Atmos at somebody's place. Very immersive. Those extra speakers on the ceiling, it makes a big difference. And to power it, he also needs the Rotel RMB1555. This is a 5-channel 120 watt. And I would say for those of you who have never experienced Dolby Atmos, wow, it's pretty cool. So next we have the Audioquest Niagara 5000. Not your typical power conditioner. I was reading up on it, quite interesting history behind it. Now he said, of course, on top of getting it to improve the sound, he got it also to protect his equipment from electrical surges. So for room treatment, he bought these hand-built diffusion panels that he put on the first point of reflection. Now on the front wall, there are fake bricks, and that also act as a big diffusion panel. There was a significant difference before he put it on and after he put it on. It was mostly for decoration purpose, but it actually helped with the sound. Now he has very thick carpets, and at the back he has these panels on the wall. He had actually a lot of panels before, but he had to get rid of them because it was too dead. Now on the back of the speakers, he has additional diffusion boards that help with the bass actually. And finally, the star of the show, the KEF Reference 5. I think this is KEF's top of the line. Well, there's the Blade 2 on top of it, and there's one other unknown speaker. But This is one of my dream speaker, and for those who have been following me, you know that I'm a big fan of KEF. What's interesting is that besides the blade too, if you look at it, all KEF speaker looks very similar. You have the unique driver, and then you have the bass drivers. In this case, you have two 6.5 inch on top, two 6.5 inch on the bottom, the 1 inch aluminum dome tweeter in the center, and then the mid-range around it. One big difference I noticed, maybe because this is finished by aluminum and it's hand finished and it has matching wood veneer, even though it has the same design as the other KEF speaker, this feels very expensive. It's a beautiful speaker. Maybe the shininess coming from the front, maybe it's just because I'm a big KEF fan, but I think the video photos won't do it justice. You have to touch the speaker. The thing is silky smooth, and after hearing it today, I have to tell you, I really want to bring it home. So for the last few months, I've been only listening to entry-level gear. You see, when I evaluate entry-level gear, I actually put away my own reference system, and that's because so that I can appreciate fully what entry-level gears can offer. If I start swapping back and forth, I'll start comparing, and that's not the point. I have to say that today's entry-level gear are amazing. You get a lot of performance for very little price. Now, for those of you who have been following me, you know that I talk about high-end gear, and you know my philosophy. You get what you pay. And I've been called elitist, and because at one point I only talk about high-end gear, and it's not that. There is a difference. High-end and entry-level. There's a reason why people pay a lot of money for high-end gear. And my channel, what I hope to achieve is to raise awareness. High-end gear is not all snake oil. So today, it is really breathtaking to come listen to this system. It's been a while since I listened to a high-end system. And I have to say, wow, it's really incredible. You would think that KEF speakers are very bright, and that's because it has a reputation for that. But it's not true. The R series and the reference series, they are not bright. And also, if you look at the system here, for those of you who have been playing with Moon, Bryston, they're known to be very clear, very clean. Some might even say Brystons are aggressive. Well, at least the SST2 generation. But no, this combination, it is not harsh, not bright. We were pushing the volume, and it does not hurt my ears. I have to say, the bass on these speakers are incredible. I've always said one of the hardest things to get right is the bass. Chest pounding bass. Bass that goes really low. Bass that goes really fast. Great definition. And this one has it all. Once we push it past a certain volume, every time a bass hits, I can feel my heart pounding, but in a good way. I feel the presence of the bass. And of course, KEF, known for being very detailed. After all, it has a metal-based dome tweeter. It's, exactly that, right? You want to hear the pin dropping. These are the kind of speaker you can listen to. The vocals are very, I guess it's neutral. It has a lot of meat on the bone. So I would say that it's a very well-balanced speaker. One thing I noticed when listening to ultra high-end system like this is that they sound majestic. Now, I never use this word describing regular speakers. Only high-end speakers where I get a chance to really sit down and listen, not at trade shows. That's one thing I notice. It sounds majestic. Full control. Absolute control. And the soundstage is enormous. The soundstage they project is just very spacious, airy. There's good separation, instrument separation, pinpoint accuracy. It's all there. So one of the questions I frequently get, is it worth it? $50,000 system. It's all snake oil. You really don't need it. So I do get questions like that. And my answer is usually it depends on each person. It depends on your experience, your taste, and your knowledge. So for example, if I tell you, okay, there is such a thing called soundstage. And if you add tubes to it, it's going to have air in the soundstage. You're going to have three-dimensionality in your soundstage. And if all you listen to is, for example, some entry-level integrated amp, which I have actually myself, then all you're going to get to hear is just two-dimensional soundstage, very flat soundstage. And you'll never get to hear that 3D soundstage. And therefore, you will not know that, okay, by paying extra money, I will get that bigger soundstage, for example. So one last thing before I let you guys go. I know there's a misconception for some of you that people who buy high-end gears are rich snobs, inherited millions, don't do nothing in life. They only listen to gear, they don't listen to music. They're a bunch of idiots who spend so much money on snake oil. And I can tell you, I don't know, the audiophiles that I meet are very nice people. They're hardworking just like anybody else. Sure, some of them are well off. Some of them work just like you and me. But for them, most important is the music. They spend as much time as anyone else researching the gears they want to buy. Most of the people that I meet are very educated people, very thoughtful people, very smart people. So they don't just buy out of impulse. It's not like you can drive your stereo system onto the road to show off. And in fact, this is one very lonely hobby. The owner of the system, you know, I mean, who is it going to show this off to? His brother-in-law, I mean, came over and say, oh, a very, very nice system. He was telling me this story. And then after 2 songs, like, all right, can we watch a movie? That's the reality of it. Audiophiles, I mean, not many people will appreciate a stereo system like everyone that's watching this video. Most people don't. The owner of the system actually is a pretty good singer, plays the guitar well, and he told me he started this journey when he was a teenager. After years of saving up, changing systems, and so forth, he finally got his dream system. It's bought out of love. And you know, at the end of the day, one thing in common with all these audiophiles I meet, every single one, from people who buy budget gear to high-end gear, their main purpose is to trigger an emotion in them when they listen to their system. So at the end of the day, I mean, people who buy high-end systems have the same goal as anybody. It's just that they're privileged to experience something a bit different. So that's why I guess my message is this. I mean, you know, don't discriminate against people with high-end system. And high-end systems are not all snake oil. There is a difference. Do you need the difference? No. I mean, you can enjoy music as much as anyone with a regular system. But do not deny the fact that there is a difference.
All right, guys. So yeah, that's the system. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.